did a movie called Hacksaw Ridge. That was a non-fiction movie, and we got so much research for that I wanted that experience again. So I was looking for something that was true, but that at the same time, you know, we could look at it from a different angle. So when they mentioned this thing about the Unabomber, I was like, well, I know all about that. I know what happened. I know the iconic photo. Yeah, but the more you read about it, and the more the script's revealed, and the more research I got given, the more I realised I didn't know anything. So that's always a compelling journey to go on. Well, I like the fact that I thought that the angle was just going to be about the Unabomber and a bunch of FBI guys. I didn't realise there was actually a pivot, and this was this guy James Fitzgerald, who I'd never heard of, and you know, I'd always thought that, you know, the Unabomber was given in by his brother, gave him up, but why did his brother give him up? What made his brother aware? And that was part of James's journey. He felt he was a small cog, but he was actually this pivotal part of uncovering how to get to the Unabomber. Unabomber had caught him for 16 years, so the more I kind of looked at James, the more I realised, well, if it wasn't for this guy, they'd still be chasing their tails. And I liked the fact it was a guy that this was in early days when profiling wasn't that strong and wasn't as used and as well known as it is now. So he was an infant kind of way of looking at taking down bad guys. And then out of that, he created his own style, which was this forensic linguistic style, which then went on to help make the brother aware, help the FBI move forward. And I like that rebellious nature of someone that is willing at all odds to go against the system and do what they think is right because they can see the bigger picture and they think that this is really going to help. And I thought that's a great character to play, someone who's passionately pursuing something that isn't necessarily just the bad guy. That's the end product, to capture the Unabomber. But he's passionately pursuing, if we do it my way, it's a different way, and it might help, and I like that. And I've experienced that in my own life, in my own world, in my own profession, that you want to go by your own beat of your own drum and you think you've got it your own way, but you're going to hit the systems and hit institutions and hit this is the way we do it. I've had all those arguments in some form or another, and I thought that it was very dramatic in a sense. It always gave me something to bounce forward for, as well as the general rule of a guy trying to capture the bad guy to stop people from getting killed. I prefer it in some ways because you've always got like a touchstone, and so I've played real guys in the past, and then when I've met them, they give you an idea of who they are, but it's their own opinion. And even talking to people around them, it's always going to get kind of filtered, you know, not the way you want. It always gets skewed because of their own ideas of who they see themselves as. And then this was 20 years ago as well, so if I met Jim Fitzgerald at the start, I was thinking, well, he's going to give me his interpretation of who he thinks he is and how he wants to be played. So I kind of held off from talking to him, but I listened to lots of tapes that he'd done with the writers. I've read lots of transcripts from interviews that he's given. I watched lots of interviews that he's given because he's written a lot of books. He's quite prolific. I sent him a questionnaire of 100 questions that I wanted, all ranging from bigger worldview stuff to minutiae, just to try and find a way in without him knowing I was weighing in. And it's very hard when you're talking to a profiler that he's not going to be profiling me. At the same time, I'm trying to profile the profiler in order to find something that's true and an essence that I can hold on to. So it took me a long time to find what that was and what I believe is in him, even if he disagreed with that, because some people don't want to see the negative, and that's what I was after, some kind of deeper core or deeper, whether it's positive or negative, who that guy is to give me the drive and the way to build other things around. So, and I don't want to say what it is because that's personal and it might disrespect him if he might think it's negative, but it took a long time to find that. They're fun. Like, I trust Paul, and we talked a lot beforehand. His method of working is a lot like mine. We both believe it's a dance and rather than a competition. Even though the scenes are very competitive, you're trying to find what the flow of them are. So to work with an actor that you can really collaborate with and try to find this kind of, it was, you know, some people say sometimes TV's too quick. In film you have this luxury. working with a guy that's done a lot of films, we have this same kind of flow of, look, put the time away, let's just try to find this organic truth between us and see where it takes us. So it was never actually, say, Fitz versus Ted Kaczynski. It was always like, how can we make this scene compelling and interesting to watch and lure an audience in? Because we know where it's going because we've read the script. We want to take the audience on this great journey over, and also make each of the interrogations different. So they had their own different kind of energy and feel. And then we let it all go and play, and that's the fun bit. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but at least with Paul I knew we were going to get something. I was more worried sometimes that his beard would fall off. Because sometimes if he laughed, the glue would give way and it would flap a bit. But, you know, that's part of the fun bit, the trivia that you find out later on. You know, yeah, they seem intense until his mustache goes flapping in the wind. You know, and then you realise, oh, we're just playing dress-ups after all. You know. I talked to someone the other day about this. It's back in the you know, like what was it, the 60s and the 70s. They had TV shows like Buck Rogers and Battlestar Galactica was coming in, and they were kind of all big and large in life. And film was like Kramer versus Kramer in the 70s, and French Connection, and kind of hard-hitting dramas. And drama wasn't a taboo word like it can be now in film, where everything has to be genreized. Even if that's not a word, I've just created it. But now it's kind of flipped. So what we see on the big screen are these larger-than-life worlds, and the big screen seems to hold and adapt them better. And TV is delving more into these personal kind of trials and tribulations that work on an emotional kind of familiar level to us. And when we're watching it at home, we can control it, we can pause it, we can mute it. So we're seeing ourselves reflected back, we're going on these great journeys, and the underlining force isn't necessarily the spectacle of it, but the human emotion of it. And I think that's what we're connecting with. And because of that, it's creating more and more shows down that ilk, because film now is more a medium of, say, bigger, more spectacles. That's one way to look at it. The other thing is, I don't know, these things always ebb and flow and they always change. But I think TV at the moment has a lot more of this personal, emotional connection. They might be bigger than life, larger than life worlds, but they're always going to be about the human connection. And that's what we have when we sit on our TV at home, a human connection to it, rather than the cathedral of film. If you look at Discovery shows, I watch them like Yukon Gold, or the Bering Sea Gold one, Deadliest Catch. All these kind of, you know, all the shows are about these odd subjects, but the mechanics of them, the mechanics of fishing, the mechanics of gold prospecting. And I think if you look at this, our TV show is about the mechanics of what it takes to take down a terrorist. You're looking at the mechanics of what each federal agent is doing, even to the point of you're looking at the mechanics of what the bad guy is doing in the way he constructs his bombs and his ideology. So I think it's all in this, that's the same kind of keeping of what Discovery Channel has as its kind of main theme. That's what I think anyway.